if your manifestations don't work, you should manifest with AI. Whatever, even if your manifestations work, if you've desired something for so long and then you envisioned yourself having it and suddenly you have it, that's great, you know it works. For those of you who don't know it works, you should find out, because it's the key to having success in this reality. But most importantly, ever since AI openly came out to the public, you have so many opportunities to speed up, like double, triple, 10x your manifestations. And I'll show you how I did it for myself, and I'll actually give you a protocol that I usually charge $5,000 to $10,000 for to clients. So I'll teach you everything. Pay attention. Please stop whatever you're doing. If not, just save this video, book it for later. You need to apply as I go through it, and there will be homework for you at the end of this. So I'll give you the blueprint, you take notes, and then at the end just go set aside like 1 to 2 hours and do the whole protocol. And I promise you, if you do it exactly like I tell you how, it will change your life. You will not think the same again. And there's actually studies being done on this. Okay, so let's clear out the board. Very few people actually use AI to its true capacity. Like even ChatGPT isn't that complex of an AI, and yet people use, I'd say the average Joe doesn't even like tap into 5% of what you could really use it for. So, number one, let's understand why this works. Perhaps I'll manifest some better handwriting in the future, but for now, you stick to this. Why do you need to do this? Well, first of all, IQ, let's do an IQ diagram, okay? This is IQ, this is, say, a diagram. Here is you, here is any AI, okay? So, first of all, this is the first reason. AI has such a better computing power than your brain does. I don't even understand why people use their brain anymore for computing power. You know, you used to go in school and the teacher was like, oh, you will need to know this formula for math, or this date or history. No, you don't. You just pull up your phone, bam, Google, ChatGPT it, and you have it, okay? That's pretty much everything you need. Second thing you need to understand why is that you have blind spots. You only see like this, the road ahead. But there's actually so much more around you. So this is you just looking ahead, and you don't even see your surroundings. You don't see what's behind you, what's above you, what's below you. You don't see this stuff. ChatGPT will. Why? Because it has so many different angles that it could give you. Now, you might ask yourself, well, why didn't I do this before? Or, I don't know, why can't I just go say something to it and it give me this? Because you're prompting it, you try to talk to ChatGPT like it's a human, okay? And by the way, ChatGPT isn't the AI I'll recommend to you, but we'll stick to this just for the sake of your understanding. You are trying to talk to a robot like it's a human. I know it's made to have a role, to embody a role so that you may understand it, but it doesn't work that way. So what you need to do is, I'll give you right now the first step. First step to completely changing your life with AI. And this is, by the way, not just for manifestations. You can use this for anything in your life, even if you're not spiritual, even if you don't believe in all this science fiction manifestation stuff. Use this for anything else that you want to do. Business, relationships, time, fitness, whatever. But this is the same protocol you can do. I'm not going to go into detail. That takes a lot of time and it's way too valuable. Okay, so number one is what I call uploading yourself. I didn't want to make a mistake. So uploading yourself, I think I'll trademark this. What does this mean? When you talk to your friend, when you talk to your business partner, your employer, whoever, you have a memory in your brain Because if somebody say, I don't know, threw a book at me on the street and I see his face, I'll be mad at him. I'll forget about it, and then the next time I see him, suddenly I know that he's the damn guy who threw a book at me. Now, what you need to understand is that when you try and talk to ChatGPT and you're like, how to make money, or like, tell me how to be fit, there's so many variables that this guy doesn't know about you that there's no way he could give you proper advice for what you need to do. So, to begin with, you need to upload yourself online to the AI. And here's what I'll tell you to do is the simplest thing. You pay your 20 bucks to ChatGPT. This is mandatory, okay? So to ChatGPT, take notes. You then create a project and you title it with whatever your name is, okay? Say Dan. Do anything now, that's a totally different subject. And now that you have this done, I want you to create a new chat and press the microphone setting. You know, it looks kind of like this, sort of. So not the speak to ChatGPT mode, which has some lines on it, and he replies back to you, just your microphone. So you talk and it transcribes your voice. Now, you're going to leave a voice memo of about 30 to 40 minutes. You think this is a lot? Trust me, it's not. It's way too little. I've talked for many hours. I leave ChatGPT like one and a half hours voice memos to it. Trust me. And it's short if you really think about it. So what about you are going to tell it anything you can remember about your life. Here is who I am. I was born in this city at this time, on this date. I was this much weight. Here's my mom. This is my relationship to her. Here's my dad. Just blabber anything about your life. It doesn't have to be chronological. It can sort it later. But you just have to think about anything that you can say about your life, whatever documents you have, okay? Upload your blood work, upload, I don't know, your business structure, anything you can have. Basically, everything you can somehow remember about your life, tell him about it. Tell him what goals you set for yourself and how you achieve them. Tell him how the kids bullied you in high school, I don't know. Just tell him everything that's on your mind for 30 to 40 minutes, bare minimum. This is like the bare minimum. Then just upload whatever documents you have. I don't know, any documents, your training plan, what you stick to, your diet plan, whatever. And this is basically the first step to actually using the power of AI. If you do this alone puts you ahead of 50% of the people using AI. You are now in the upper echelon of using AI to its capacity. Because up until now, you were kind of stepping in the blind, and he was also stepping in the blind. But now you actually have given him a proper map of your life, like how your life looks, and now AI can come in and look at it. Now, some people have security concerns. I've heard this before, like, trust me, I've met people inside the information intelligence area agency, okay, here in Romania, at least I don't know how it's like in the US or anywhere. Trust me, they know anything about you already. If you're an important person, which by the way, I guarantee you're not, I'm not, you're not. If you're not in politics, probably it's not important. Or if you're not dealing with oil or energy, you're probably unimportant anyway. So you think the FBI cares about, I don't know, your diarrhea, or I don't know, whatever problem you're trying to fix in your life? It doesn't. So just upload yourself and make it as detailed as possible, okay? This will help you much more than it will hurt you. I don't even think it will hurt you at all, up until now anyway. And if it does actually hurt you, like, how could it hurt you, okay? Just don't share it, okay? If it's like really sensitive information, just don't share it. okay? Just say to it it's something sensitive, but actually mention that there's something sensitive about it, okay? So that's basically the first step. Now, first was understanding why this was the first step with AI. Now what you need to do, which is, this is gonna put you in the top, like I'd say 80% of people. I'm actually gonna write it even before I tell you, because very few people actually do this. So what you want to do now is define your goals. Now, what do I mean define your goals? Oh, well, then I want to make more money and I want to be healthy. That's not a goal. That's just some sort of vision. You need to set aside, let me change the marker, 3 to 5 goals in detail and think of what, how, when, and how much. Right? So I want to have a beautiful handwriting that looks just like Winston Churchill's by practicing daily for 1 to 2 hours within 6 months. Okay? There's no how much for this, because there's not a quantity to it. But say you want to make, what do people want? Money. That's probably the first thing. Money. If you want money, you say, I want to earn $10,000 a month in profit through my marketing agency, crypto program, online education, whatever you're doing, within 6 months. Okay? So you said how much, you said when, you said how, and you said what. If you just say, I want to make $10,000, you've probably already made it throughout your lifetime. When you say, I want $10,000 in a month, every month, for the next year, well, doing what? You know, you need to give it the guidance. So basically what you have done so far is you've created a map of your life. ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using now can assess your starting point. It's like a video game. It defines some parameters. Okay, so age is this, height is this, weight is this, personality this. Oh, by the way, I highly recommend personality. Do a Hexaco test. This is the best Hexaco. You can Google it. I think it's University of Michigan. Oh, that's the website. So do a Hexaco test and upload your personality to ChatGPT, because it might give you the right advice here for your goals, but if it's actually, I don't know, say if you're an introvert and it tells you to go get a sales job, then it's not the proper advice actually, you know, because it doesn't actually get too many personality parameters due to like confidentiality and stuff. So it doesn't actually use them. I think it gets them. But if you give it your personality profile, and if you believe in it or not, give it your numerology or astrology profile, right? So these two things about your three things, if you want to give them both. And then it has like a full profile, a map of you. It defines set parameters of your life, and then it defines different parameters. So, okay, if your weight right now is, I don't know, 80 kg, and you want to be more, you want to bulk up, okay? So health, this is the second thing you might want. You want to bulk up, then it will set a new parameter for you at 85 or 90 kg, however much you want to weigh, you know, and your body fat and your blood work, okay? I highly recommend you do this, okay? So after you've decided on the 3 to 5 goals, I don't know, say a certain amount of money, achieving some sort of, the thing about relationships is when you set love or romance goals to it, you need to define like an ideal state that you want to be in and your partner in, and the correlations between you. So whatever you've done about yourself, you then need to create about your partner if you actually want it to give you good advice, you know? So be careful with relationship advice, because if you just say like, oh, she did this to me and I felt like this, it's gonna give you shit advice because it doesn't have enough information about her. So if you want a love goal, like a relationship goal, do all of this, but like 10 to 20 minutes just about your partner, okay? Give information, her upbringing, her trauma, her, I don't know, whatever she has, and then plug it into here, so then it can give you actually valuable advice. Because if you just say like, oh, she screamed, and it says, well, break up with her, and you break up with her, well, you didn't tell the AI that you threw something at her and that's why she screamed, okay? This is fictional, by the way, in case you're wondering, but this is generally what you should do. So do a money goal, do a love goal, health goal, whatever you want, okay? Upload yourself, define your goals, and now let's actually erase this. I'll give you like a master prompt that you can use. So this so far was 2 conversations that you had to open within your project, okay? Why does this work so hard? Okay. So you have your project, which is you, okay? And you had convo number 1, which was uploading yourself. Let's do it like this. You had convo number 1, which is this point, you know, uploading yourself. You had convo number 2, which is our point 3, which was define yourself, right? And your goals, sorry. And now you're gonna have number 4, the master prompt. So the master prompt is a prompt I discovered and it completely just changed my view on my life. I've actually, for those of you who don't know me, I've spent probably 3 years being an apprentice for a business coach, a mentor, which had its ups and downs, obviously. But the main upside of it was that this guy was constantly analyzing me, giving me advice on my involvement and all of this stuff. I'll get into that story some other time, but it was relatively valuable advice. Some of it was actually life-changing advice, but most of it was valuable advice. The problem with it is, just like I told you, I had to spend 3 years next to this guy doing basically free stuff for him and getting this advice, which is nice. You could have paid for it, and again, it would have taken probably, say, 1 or 2 years, you know, of paying, I don't know, $1,000 a session for, I don't know, 2 years. How much is that? 100K? Do you have that money? No. Do you have 20 bucks? Yes. So I'll teach you how to get the same output in 1 hour. So 1 to 2 hours. Say if you don't have your goals defined, it might take you 2 hours. And actually have it written down in a structured way. So the master prompt, before I write it, it sounds like this. Knowing what you now know about me, okay? Given my personality type of the Hexaco system, my numerology life path, my astrological chart, and the fact that I want to achieve X, Y, Z, you list down your goals, right? And then you enter the prompt. Give me 100 things in order that I should fix about my life and I don't know about, and that are basically challenging me from achieving my goals. Okay, so you can frame this however you want. As words, you can just blabber it to ChatGPT, it will understand. But make sure you mention, given everything that you know about me now, make sure you mention your goals and that you want 100 things that you don't know in order. and it will basically give you like a huge list of 1, 2, bam, 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 bam. And they're actually, this will be the most life-changing advice you have ever received. Like if you ever paid for coaching, life coaching, therapy, psychology, whatever, this beats it all. Okay, so there is nothing that can compare to this, because no human is able to sit down and listen to you for 1 hour, blabber, memorize every word, do calculations in your head, then think about your goals and give you this advice in such a structured, detailed order. No human is capable of this, no matter how spiritual the guru is, no matter how talented the life coach is, nobody. So you just give it this master prompt, it will list down 100 things, like the best advice you've ever received before, and after this you start working on it one by one. Because why did I say in order? Because it will be just like a map, like literally a map inside of a video game, where now you basically have, let me draw it to you so you might understand it better. Okay, now you have a map of where you want to go. It's like a journey, you know, inside of a video game. You have a starting point, okay, and then you have basically a road towards the mountain, you know, where you want to be and the life you want to live. Okay, this is the end destination. And now you basically have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's literally everything that you need to do to get to 99, 100. And by the time you reach 100, all these 5 would be achieved, or 3 goals, whatever you set yourself, it would have already been achieved. This is the simplest life can get. Even I said manifesting with AI, but the truth is even manifesting is just placing yourself in the right state of recognizing certain opportunities in your life and taking action upon them. Okay? This is what it means to manifest. It means to clearly see yourself, to define your goals, and to engineer a state where you can see. Now, if you weren't able to engineer your state through meditation and visualization, ChatGPT will engineer it for you through ration and pure logic, you know? So, because at the end of it, it is the same thing, okay? So you get your roadmap for achieving massive success or whatever you want to achieve. And then what I highly recommend you do, because remember you have a project, right? All of these are conversations within the project, okay? So next time you say want to have like a new whatever, anything else you want to do, you give it updates, okay? So you start new conversations and say, I don't know, let's just list it like this, you know, every day you log in and you start doing them one by one, okay? You take each point into separate conversations, okay? So you take point 1, whatever it gave you as an advice. I would like to work on point 1 that you gave me here, you know, and you give it a quote. Let's start working on it, and you do it in detail. And if you set aside this time, and some of them will be very quick, like you can do them and think about them in seconds. Some of them are just decisions you have to make. But if you do this one by one, it takes a while, yeah. But trust me, by the time you get to 100, you are a different human being. Your whole personality would have changed, and I bet your IQ must have went higher by 20 points, at least, on IQ. At least, minimum, because now all IQ is being able to process reality, okay? Now you have seen how your reality process looks like, so you can better identify other opportunities. All of this that I've written down, and I didn't have a big enough whiteboard for it, is everything you need to manifest. Now, some of you will look at this and say, I don't think it works. just try like a demo of it. Okay, you roughly know what you want, give it a blabber for 20 minutes, the minimum. If you can't do this, then you're lost anyway. And there's nothing more in life you can do to be successful if you can't just sit down for 20-30 minutes and focus on something that you know has the potential of the highest ROI you've ever seen in your life. So try this and comment below on this video how it went. Like I'm genuinely curious, because there are very few people that I've given this advice to, and some of them have paid for it a lot of money, and it changed their lives. And I mean people who are way ahead of me. Say like societally, if you look at someone's value in society, they are way ahead of me, and I've given them this advice, and they said that it changed their life, the way they see and think about life. So I'd like you to try this. Like this video, subscribe, share it with a friend. If you have a friend who you know is trying to achieve his goals or wants to manifest stuff and hasn't had it quite yet, share this with him. Spend your hard-earned money on $20 for ChatGPT, and I think that's pretty much everything you need. Now, one disclaimer I will give to you: I'm not responsible for anything that you do, and basically anything that ChatGPT does with your information. I told you my opinion. I think that if you want to be a skeptic in life and you want to be paranoid that somebody is chasing you and the CIA is having a meeting next door and they've already bugged your office, you can be a skeptic if you want, or a paranoia. I think they already know whatever there is to know about you. But the truth is, perhaps you're overreacting, okay? So just a disclaimer, I don't care what they do with the information. I care about getting results in my life and in the life of people I care about, and it worked so far. So use it to your own concern, do your own research, and I think that's it, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.